Hello, welcome back. It has been quite a while. As you can see, a lot has changed, and that's because for the past month and a half, I have been moving into a new place. Pivot! No longer in Rochester, back up in the Twin Cities, and really loving every second of it. Today, I wanted to talk about gear and why you probably need less gear than you might think you need. Now, there is an obvious caveat to this. If you're working on high production films, if you're working on expensive commercials, you're going to use a lot more equipment than I'm going to talk about, and that's for good reason. That's why a big asterisk to this is that you really need to know what kind of project you're working on and what sort of gear is necessary for that sort of project. But for a lot of videos like this that you see on YouTube, a lot of lower budget documentary work, it can all be done with just a few pieces of gear: a light, a camera, and a microphone. You don't really need to spend a ton of money to get a lot with a camera nowadays. The Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera line is a perfect example of this. You can get B-RAW and have a ton of flexibility in post for under $2,500 if you want to get their top of the line Pocket Cinema camera. A lot of cameras even have RAW output to external recorders now. But some people might want to take photos and do video. A lot of cameras are really good at both photos and video work. I think a really good example of this is the Fujifilm line of cameras, the X-H2, X-H2S, and also the Panasonic S5 Mark II cameras, the S5 Mark II X, if you're more video focused. But there are a lot of options out there under $2,500 that can do both great video and great photos. You can do a lot with just one video light. I only have one light lighting me right now. I'm using the natural light from outside this window to kind of kick in a little extra light right now. And I think that's a big thing, is understanding how to use natural light to your advantage. Knowing when to go outside to film that scene and have the best natural light. There are a lot of apps. I think Sunseeker is one where it'll show you exactly where the camera will be in a location at a certain time, so you can plan it to have that beautiful backlighting or to have that golden hour light streaming through those trees. There are a lot of really great options within this Cobb monolight style form factor where you have Godox, Amaranth, Small Rig, all putting out lights for a really reasonable cost, under $1,000. And you get a lot of output and a pretty decent build quality on a lot of them. You know, there are review videos all over the place. I have one on the Godox VL150 that I'll put right up here. I think it's a great light. Unfortunately, I don't think they make it anymore. If you can jump up even a little more to that 200 watt, 300 watt light range, and you'll have enough output to really cover any situation that you'll get into. You'll be able to work with sunlight and not overexpose the windows to just complete white. I think investing some more money into lighting modifiers will go a lot farther than getting, two 60-watt lights and two softboxes instead of one 300-watt light and a couple of different options for lighting modifiers. A 5-in-1 reflector with some nice sunlight can go a long ways and can really do a lot for you. And that's $30, $40. And I'll add one little side note. Along with knowing how to add light, knowing how to take light away is also really important. Knowing how to use a negative fill to get more contrast, or how to use a flag to block off a certain area of your background is really important. I think audio is the most important part of your camera setup. Which is funny because right now I'm using a $20 microphone, but you can get away with a $20 microphone if it doesn't have to be off camera. But I think for most people, they're going to want a microphone that's off screen or hidden underneath a shirt. And so I would say the shotgun microphone is where you're going to want to start first. Now, I really like the Sennheiser ME66, but they don't make it anymore. I think it's replaced with the MKE 600. It's going to run you a couple $100, but you won't have to replace it immediately. And it will also cover a ton of different scenarios. You can put it on a boom pole for a short film. You can put it on a boom pole for a documentary. You can throw it on a camera rig for a documentary, or you can just boom it over top, just out of camera range for a sit-down talking head interview. Lav mics are really nice, but I don't think they're as versatile as a shotgun mic. If you're trying to get into the world of videography, of filmmaking, I would say go with a shotgun microphone. There are a ton of different resources on YouTube. A lot of people review all these different microphones. I would say Curtis Judd is the best, in my opinion, of providing entertainment, but also equipping you with all the knowledge, the facts, the comparisons that you need to make an informed decision on what microphone is going to be the best for you within your given budget. I will link that channel down below. Hone in on the gear that you have, or hone in on a smaller kit of quality pieces that you can really experiment with, that you can grow with, and then add in those little bits that you find you need along the way. I would be curious to know what you think on this topic. Do you think you need more than one light? Do you think you need more than one microphone? Personally, I think microphones would be the first thing that I invest in more, and then maybe move to lighting and then camera last. But that's just what I think. I'd love to hear your opinions on it in the comments down below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Luna, do you have anything to add?